Within the grand tapestry of history, some figures emerge not just as actors, but as directors of the human drama, their ideas echoing through the corridors of power for centuries. Niccolo Machiavelli is one such individual, a name that has become synonymous with cunning, manipulation, and the cold calculus of political survival. But to truly understand the man, we must first journey back to the world that forged him, the vibrant yet treacherous landscape of Renaissance Florence. Imagine the city at the turn of the 16th century, a crucible of artistic genius and political strife. Amidst the splendor of Brunelleschi's dome and the masterpieces of Leonardo and Michelangelo, rival families clashed in the streets. Papal armies maneuvered for control, and the fragile Florentine Republic teetered on the brink of collapse. It was in this crucible of chaos and ambition that Machiavelli's political education began, shaping a philosophy that would forever alter our understanding of power. Born in 1469, Niccolo Machiavelli entered public service as a diplomat and secretary to the Second Chancery of the Florentine Republic. For over a decade, he was a man of action, traveling on crucial diplomatic missions to the courts of France, to the Holy Roman Emperor, and, most notably, to the camp of Cesare Borgia, a ruthless warlord whose audacity and cruelty would leave an indelible mark on Machiavelli's thought. He was at the heart of the Republic's affairs, a keen observer of the mechanisms of statecraft, but his fortunes were tied to the Republic he served. In 1512, the powerful Medici family, backed by papal forces, returned to Florence and dissolved the government. Machiavelli, a prominent official of the old regime, was summarily dismissed from his post. His downfall was swift and brutal. Falsely implicated in a conspiracy against the new rulers, he was arrested, imprisoned, and subjected to the agonizing torture of the strappado, a method designed to dislocate the shoulders. Acquitted but broken, he was forced into exile at his small farm outside the city, a political outcast, stripped of his purpose. It was in this bitter exile, far from the halls of power, that Machiavelli would pen his most famous and controversial work, The Prince. This slender volume, written as a desperate attempt to regain favor with the Medici, was a radical departure from traditional political philosophy. He cast aside the moralistic ideals of how a ruler should behave, focusing instead on what a ruler must do to acquire and maintain power in the real world. To survive, he argued, a prince must embody the dual nature of the beast, the cunning of the fox to recognize traps, and the strength of the lion to frighten wolves. He famously debated whether it is better to be loved or feared, concluding that while it is best to be both, it is much safer to be feared than loved. A ruler, Machiavelli contended, must be willing to make ruthless decisions, to lie, to betray, and even to kill, if the stability and security of the state demand it. For him, the ends, the preservation of the state, justified the means. The prince failed to win Machiavelli a place back in government, and he died in 1527, his political ambitions unfulfilled. Yet, the legacy of his work has been monumental and enduring. Initially condemned by the Church and placed on its index of prohibited books, The Prince spread like wildfire, becoming a foundational text of modern political science. It stripped away the veneer of divine right and morality, presenting power as a purely human and secular affair. Over the centuries, his name has given us the adjective Machiavellian, a term now used to describe any act of calculated duplicity and cynical self-interest in the pursuit of power. From the boardrooms of multinational corporations to the war rooms of global superpowers, the questions Machiavelli raised about leadership, morality, and necessity continue to be debated. His unflinching analysis of the darker aspects of human nature and politics ensures that, for better or worse, we all still live in the world that Machiavelli described.